Let's make this Rohan banner. I started by making and printing off my pattern. Here's how it looks all taped together. Then I cut the fabric for the main part of the banner. I'm trying to use scrap fabric for this project, and this red fabric is the perfect shade, but it didn't quite fit, so I had to break it apart. I cut the horse from white cotton, but the fabric was thin and the glue was supposed to dry clear, but it kind of just looked terrible. So I had to restart. I used a layer of Mod Podge to glue the fabric in place, and then I made a custom zigzag stitch to go around the edges to kind of like mimic a satin stitch. I'm really happy with how this came out, especially for freehand work. I just about lost my mind trying to embroider this bottom part, only to realize that I needed to replace my needle. So if you're ever having sewing problems, maybe don't be like me and check your needle first. After a lot of mistakes, it turned out pretty good. With some dark blue embroidery thread, I sewed around the edges with a backstitch. I repeated this process with the gold side parts here. I'm so happy with how all of these parts turned out. I painted on this yellow part, I think it's supposed to be a sun, and I regret not making a sticker stencil because my paint got where it wasn't supposed to, and I had to use rubbing alcohol to clean up all of the mistakes, of which there were quite a few. It eventually did come out, but it took a really long time to fix. Next up are these blue parts, which I had to embroider directly onto the main banner, which was just a little bit nerve-wracking. To make sure it lined up correctly, I measured from this point and then had the needle start there. I did the same to the other side. This top part gave me a lot of problems, and when I finally got it embroidered, it was too small. I started working on the horse's face, and the thread is the same as the one that I used for the outline of the horse. Okay, back to this blue and gold part. So I took some pieces from my failed attempts and then glued them onto the ends because I didn't have any more blue fabric left and I didn't want to redo it. I didn't want to go get more fabric and like you can't really tell. So it's finally time to start assembling everything. I made some yellow bias tape for the edges and sewed it on. To create the yellow background from this, I just sewed this blue part onto the yellow and then did the same like zigzag satin stitch on the outside to keep it in place. And the last and final step is to go around the perimeter with navy thread. Just kidding, I forgot that I need to hang it, and so I painted this wooden dowel gold.